is the Mason-Dixon line. And so, Martin told me that one day, and I was like, huh. And I go, do you have any sort of marker there, or anything around? Have you found anything? And he goes, you know, there's some bricks in some sort of thing out in the creek, and I used to take my John boat out there and pick the bricks off of it and use it for things. And I was like, huh, I wonder if the creek eroded, you know, if that was land, well, it must have been land where those bricks are now. So I wonder if that was put out, I wonder if that was a fire pit, a barbecue, an oven, or if that was a marker for this Transpeninsular Line that they put there and kept up. But there is no way to tell what it was. That was mostly conjecture, you know, guess on my part about what that was
Was
after
it about
Martin
the
told
size
me
of a
what was
grave?
going.
It could very easily been a brick vault.
It was probably an old
Yeah, you know, people buried their kinfolk on the property
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot of things. He didn't mention any bones. But he did say that and like you were saying about the brick church, one of the lines I drew years ago, I used that end of Martin's property, and if you drew the line from the middle point across Martin's property, it went by the brick church. So it's somewhere in that area. If there's if Watson and his gang of surveyors kept better notes, we would know exactly where it was. But once the distance was determined and this went to court, there was no reason for anybody to go back out there to do permanent markers. It wasn't a border. It was just a measurement that had to be decided was where the halfway point was the whole purpose of surveying the Transpeninsular Line. Yeah.
You know, one thing about it, you didn't have no women then to keep things straight.
They didn't have any women to keep them straight?
I tell you.
I don't think there were. I didn't hear any mention of any women on these expeditions. Probably all their notes blew out of the back of one of their wagons in a storm like today, or got ruined, or burned in a fire. Who knows? You know, in that much time, you know how you can lose things.
Have you seen the Mason-Dixon marker that's got, on one side of it, it's got an M and a P on the same side? You seen the picture of that?
Where's that one at?
It's number 17. It's in Dorchester County.
Yeah.
And it come from England that way.
Mm-hmm.
And what evidently happened, the guy, and I don't know which way it goes, I don't remember. He carved a P on it, and he turned it over and carved another P. And then carved an M on top of the P, or the vice versa. And it's number 17, I turned that field on that pitted irrigation system. There's pictures of it in some of those books.
The one they're gonna preserve.
Yes, the one they're gonna fix up.
Yeah, 40 of the stones had the capital letters P and M on them, and the remaining 10 had Calvert and Penn crests on them.
Well, that's the crown stones.
Yeah, they were well, these
They're
were
put
the
over
ones.
5 miles.
Right, these were the ones that were on the tangent line. This is just the tangent line stones. So there was there were 20 were delivered to the Nanticoke at a Mr. Turford's farm.
Yeah.
30 were delivered up the Chop Tank to Denton. And so, I don't know which went where, but 40 had the capital letters P and M on them, and the remaining 10 had the Calvert and Penn crests on
Well,
them.
see, they were put over 5 miles.
Yeah.
The ones with it.
Yeah, yeah, all this comes from, a lot of this comes directly from Mason and Dixon's journal. Yeah, nothing I'm telling you tonight's anything I discovered. It's all just,
You ought to make it a habit to go up, find the stones, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
yeah.
Like that. You can find them.
You can find, yeah, you can find them all. I started with a book yesterday, and I thought, this will take me right where it's going. And that had me all over the place. I was like, how in the hell did this guy write this book like this? And so,
Mr. President,
and so I'd have to start over again and come up with some good points on that. But if you go through this Facebook thing, I also have I didn't put my references on everything, but I do have, where is it? I have all the references I used in one place. So this lists all the books that I use and where I got my information from. But almost everything is based off of Mason and Dixon's journal. So, and some of the books get real long-winded about this stuff, but you can cross-check that way is the best way to do it. But there's a lot to it. It gets interesting and gets confusing at some points, and you'd think it'd be a lot simpler than it is. Once it's all sorted out, it is simple, but it takes a little while to get there. So hopefully we can get some interest in this. I don't know who all gets these communications from the state. Let's see. Without the island projects, here we are. These things, Mid-Bay Island Ecosystem Restoration Project. All these have a person, there's been different ones over the years. I have to find the current, which one's the most current, but the name of the person that's in charge of this project, and maybe call them, write them, enlighten them to what's going to be available with this video we're doing tonight, and the information I have, and see if we can possibly get this going into an actual marker on Taylor's Island or on the new James Island. That's actually a good idea, Pat, since nobody will be out there, to have one, because you do get a lot of people that ride through just for a tour in the summer, how many motorcyclists come through and whatever, and that'd be a neat thing to have on the island, and then have it pop up when you put in, bring up your Google Maps or whatever, so.
Well, if it crosses right near Brick Church would give permission to put a marker there if you wanted to.
Yeah, even there, that would be great, yeah. Otherwise, it would have to be, the closest point would be out maybe at, and that's all private property, at the corner of where Oyster Cove comes in between Mulberry Point and, I don't know what that, what's the property called, right on Oyster Cove, the farm that's right there that was rebuilt after the fire.
Sam Folk is on one side,
Yeah, that would be
Ed Peters is on the other.
That would be the closest point you could get.
Yeah.
Is Ed still around? Ed, is he still around?
Yeah.
He is?
His son is there, I think.
His son is? Okay.
Is Pat there?
Yeah, Pat and his family.
Oh, he did pass? I was wondering, I haven't seen him in so long. Yeah, things change over. 'cause it's going on
Anyone else
30
have any
years.
questions?
Yeah, any other questions? We could wrap. I'm finished unless there's any other questions.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.